Cast your minds back, if you can, to 1985. Madonna ruled the charts. The hair was big and the shoulder pads were bigger, and one movie was dominating the box office.
But the real story behind her role of a lifetime was one of a near miss and a family tragedy. Claudia Wells joins us now live from San Fran. Good morning, lovely to see you.
Good to see you as well. I'm actually in Los Angeles.
I beg your pardon. You know, because in Australia,
no, I'm supposed to be in San Francisco
anything
at the
north of the
Back
equator.
to the Future musical.
Oh,
yes.
okay. Oh, well, lovely to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Does it feel like a lifetime ago? We're talking 40 years, or has it still got a bit of sort of it just happened yesterday?
You know, it's a combination of both. It's a combination of I remember it as if it was yesterday, and I've lived 5 lifetimes since then.
Oh,
so it's
yeah.
both at the same time.
So for younger viewers who may not understand just how big Back to the Future was, the movie was #1 for 11 weeks straight. That is still the 6th longest #1 run in cinema history. What are your memories of the pandemonium once the film came out?
You know, I went straight into doing a TV series after the film, so I wasn't, you know, when you're on set, you're not really aware of anything that's going on in the world, so I wasn't as aware of it as everyone else was. I just know it was at the Avco in Westwood for 9 months, and that's so rare for a movie to stay in a theater for that long.
Wow.
Yeah, but other than that, it's really been in the last 10 or 15 years that I've felt the world love of the film, from doing Comic-Cons and appearances and all of the people dressed like Jennifer Parker or Doc or Marty McFly. It's those experiences and even the online love that has shown me how impactful the film is to so many people.
Yeah, such an important role. It's hard to imagine, but is it true that there was almost a different Jennifer Parker? You almost weren't on this movie.
You know, I was cast 2 separate times. So when Eric Stoltz was cast originally, I was cast as Jennifer Parker. And then what happened was a pilot I had done called Off the Rack with Ed Asner and Eileen Brennan for ABC got picked up. And it was going to shoot at the exact same time as I was supposed to be Jennifer. And they wouldn't release me from my contract or let me do both the movie and the show. So I had to back out because contractually I was obligated to the TV series. So they recast my role. And then about 8 or 9 weeks later, when Eric Stoltz was let go and they hired Michael, I was now done with my TV show, and the girl they'd recast was too tall to play opposite Michael, so I then got my part back again. So I was Jennifer twice.
Oh, see, it was meant to be. There were 2 more sequels after that. Most cast members, like Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, all came back for more, but you had to decline for a very personal reason. Can you tell us about that decision?
Yeah, I didn't have to, but I chose to.
Yeah.
In between the first Back to the Future and the second one, my mom was diagnosed with 4th stage lymphoma. Oh, there she is.
Oh,
that was a photo shoot I did. And she and I were really a team, and there was so much trauma obviously involved with her and, you know, hospital visits and just everything that was going on, and emotionally I wasn't able to handle anything more than what I was dealing with at home and in my family. So I actually decided to turn it down and just walk away. I always knew that one day I'd come back to acting and to that love in my life, but at that moment in time I wasn't able to put any of my efforts into that. So then they recast my part again.
Yeah, family first, we all understand that. All right, Back to the Future remains a big part of your life. Do you still keep up with the cast?
What?
Do you still keep up with the cast?
Oh, very much so. I'm great friends with James Tolkien, is one of my greatest friends, Mr. Strickland, and I see Chris at events. He's always incredible. I love Leah. I'm great friends with Goldie and Harry Waters Jr., and we're like a family. So we see each other at different Comic-Cons and appearances, but also off of those, we're in touch with each other often.
Gorgeous. Now, we want to play a game with you, and this is a game that we like to call Teenage Dream.
Just need to flash back to your teenage years and let us know what were you like before becoming a big star, okay?
So we've got your questions loaded. Here we go. What was your first cassette tape? Can you remember?
I can. You have to remember, I've been working since I was 8. So my teenage years weren't necessarily like a typical teenager's years. My first cassette was from my friend Placido Domingo. His father is Placido Domingo. I had been in 12 operas between the age of 8 and 12 in San Francisco, and Placido and I were great friends through his father, who I'd done operas with. And his first singing lesson, he gave me the cassette of it because he was so excited and proud of himself.
Okay.
Now, of course, he's a famous opera singer.
We're just putting it out there. That's the best answer we've ever had to that question.
Really? Thank you.
That's a beautiful story. What posters were on your bedroom wall?
No posters. My mom used to redo my bedroom every time I went to camp, and she had wallpaper that was the same as at Tiffany's. So no posters.
Yeah, no posters were allowed on that wallpaper. Fragrance. What were you rocking perfume-wise?
Joy.
Oh,
That
yes.
was my fragrance. I always wore Joy.
Okay. What about your favourite movie?
You know, I loved The Sound of Music ever since I was a little kid. And then my mom and I saw Arthur with Dudley Moore and Liza Minnelli, and we laughed so much through it that we sat and watched it again. So we saw it 2 times in a row. And then we used to always tease each other when Sir John Gielgud says, I'll alert the media.
And the song, If You Get Caught Between the Moon and New York City.
Okay, she's a singer, Chloe. Don't do it.
Yeah, we shouldn't really
Great.
sing
I
it.
love your show, by the way.
And finally, as we say goodbye, Claudia, your first car. Do you remember the first car you ever had?
I do. Actually, I bought it. It's funny because when you do a pilot in the series, most of the cast goes out and buys a car. So my first car I bought was a Honda Accord LX when I was 16.
Oh, I think that was a pretty nice one, wasn't it?
That was
Honda
pretty
Accord?
fancy. It'll be nice around there.
I was doing quite well.
Yeah. So lovely to catch up with you this morning. Thank you for taking the time
Thank
with
you
us.
so much for having me.
Great
God
fun.
bless you.
Thank you. And there is a Back to the Future musical which is heading down under.
Right.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
we'll keep an eye out for
phenomenal.
that.
It is. I've seen it 8 times. It's
Wow.
absolutely spectacular.
Well,
yes.
we'll be sure to go along. Thank you, Claudia. Lovely catching up.